First name is Major and the last name is Ogilvie. I'm a 1977 graduate of the high school. I work at Ready Mix USA, and so having lots of fun these days. So I lived in Mountain Brook for 2 years. We moved from Vestavia, and you know, to say it was a great experience, those my junior and senior years is an understatement. I mean, we played in 27 games. We won all of them, won the 2 state championships. But, you know, I've always said we were really blessed. We had a great group of parents. We had great leadership at the high school. There were so many things that were in place for us to have a great time and experience what we experienced and do what we did. And as you know, we won 2 state championships at the 4A, which at the time was the highest class, and so lot of proud, lot of great memories from those days. I mean, we had very good teams, but we were very close teammates, and just like all the teams that play football, you build relationships and friendships and all that, and so it was a great experience for me personally and my family. We had really 2 different teams. Our 75 team, we won a lot of our games on toughness, and we were a very tough-minded team. I mean, the 75 team, we only had 34 people on the team, I believe I remember, which was very small for a Class 4A. We had great leadership out of that senior group. Matt Watley, Robbie Thomas, Scott Cardwell, Bill Crease, Alan Hughes. I mean, we had some really great leaders on that team that were determined to lead our team and win a championship, and they certainly did it. You know, our junior group was young, but we were the kind of the skill part of the team, and so the 75 team, like I said, we just willed our way through. We were tough. 76 team was quite a bit different. You know, we just had an extremely explosive offense and scored a lot of points and, you know, just had a good time. But the 76 team was different from the standpoint of, you know, when you win a state championship or you're ranked #1, everybody wants to give you their best game. So 76, we had some close games that we won there at the end, but we were able to win all 14 of those games. Yeah, well, our program was fairly young when I played. I mean, you know, the high school had only been in place 8, 9 years, and so, you know, there were teams and players before us. But I think for us, going into the season, because of all the hard work that Coach Higginbotham, he was a real taskmaster, a tough-minded coach from the old days, if you will. So really put us through a lot. But I think the pivotal time for us is when we played Berry High School. That was a great program. You know, today it's the Hoover program, which they've enjoyed tremendous success over the years. But Coach Finley was a great coach. And nobody, I think I'm right in saying this, that none of the over the mountain teams had ever beaten Berry. And so with that in mind, we beat them, and we beat them pretty good. And we walked out of that game with a lot of confidence that, you know, we really, that game not only paid dividends for our 75 team, but also 76. I mean, that was a huge win for us. And so, you know, it's little things like that, I think, that really just add up. And then you get a big opportunity like playing Berry, and we won, and it just pivoted us toward having a great experience. Well, you know, by that time it got to be December, and it wasn't cold, but it wasn't hot either. And so that's one of the things I remember. But that was it was just a dogfight. Dothan had a great team. They had a very good coach too, and so, but we had a great game plan that day that allowed us really right at the end of the game. We just had more points than they did, and were able to win the game and the championship. And but it was back and forth the whole game. Well, back in the day, I mean, recruiting really didn't start to the summer before your senior season. I mean, you'd get letters in the spring before your senior season, but recruiting was not at all what it's like today. I mean, gosh, I hear them saying that they're recruiting sixth graders and eighth graders. Recruiting was a short part of the process compared to today. I mean, we didn't. You didn't make trips when you were a junior or anything like that. That was all kind of a senior kind of thing. So, gosh, my uncle coached in Alabama and with Coach Bryant. So, we had a knowledge, and we've always been Alabama fans in our family. And I have an uncle that played at the University of Tennessee that we followed Tennessee with a great deal of interest, which, Alabama and Tennessee, largely your SEC. Well, our senior 76 team was quite a bit different than our 75. Again, we were a very explosive offense, and gosh, we had a perfect offensive line. We ran the veer. Richard Berg was our great veer quarterback. Billy Morris was my counterpart. We ran the split backfield and what have you. So we had quite a bit of team. But, like today's team, that 76 team, we had like 75, 80 people on the team because there were a lot of interest after we won the state championship to be a part. And so it was quite a bit different. On top of that, Coach Rick Rhodes was our coach in the 76 season. So there was a lot of difference there. There was some carryover with Coach Brunner and Coach Bradley that had been with us our junior year. So that was helpful to help Coach Rhodes understand the talents and some of our skills and all that. But, we were pretty confident. I don't think arrogant, but we were pretty confident after that 75 season that we could do this again. Yeah, no, we just to kind of review the playoffs. So we played Walker, and we beat them pretty handily. The next week we played Hayes, and they physically beat us up pretty hard. And Billy Morris, my counterpart, came out of that game lame and really was limited in terms of what he could contribute in the next two games against Decatur and Murphy. And then lo and behold, we go up to Decatur, and we just had a dogfight of a game up there and won at the end there in the last few minutes. And Richard Berg, his back got hurt and he got stove up. So anyway, I was the only one that was really well for the last game, and I've always kidded them because that was a really hard playing game for me. But anyway, no, we had Sam Price was our split end, Richard was our quarterback, Billy, but they were hurt, and so it just probably shifted the ball to me more, and we just had to go. Well, I visited 5 schools during the season, which was a little bit difficult back then because you would play a game on Friday night, and some of those nights then you'd go get in the car and drive halfway to Knoxville or whatever, and then go to the game the next day. and then try to get back on Sunday afternoon for film study with our team because we had to get ready. And we were playing for state championship. We were ranked #1, and that team was ranked nationally 1, 2, or 3, depending on the national polls that were there. So we had a great team. So recruiting was a little bit difficult. Coach Rhodes was really good to me from that standpoint, and helped me out a lot because it was just a long, I started to say a long week, but the weeks never ended because, you were involved in that, and then you were playing games every week. And so it was a busy time, but a good time, a fun time. What I have seen, well, I've seen, particularly with Coach Yeager, I think his system, his process, whatever you want to call it, is perfect for our young people. It's a complete system. It not only helps them be good football players and play on good teams, but the impact it's had on our community and the interest, even going down to the 7th grade teams. I mean, as you know, we have 100 people on the 7th grade teams. That didn't exist, never has exist. So I think it's a real compliment to him. It's a compliment to our young people. It's a compliment to our community. I mean, just a lot of interest and a lot of pride in our football programs and our young people wanting to be on those teams and experience the good things that football teams can have fun doing. It was fun, a lot of fun. My son Morgan, they had a good football team here, and so they had a good year. Mary Riley, my daughter, played basketball, ran track. Both programs were extremely competitive and a lot of fun. And my baby Collier, she was quite the athlete and had a good time and what have you. So, sports is a part of life, and we've been very blessed within the Mountain Brook system of, I started to say getting a lot out of it, but I want to relate that with what sports can do for young people to help them grow and build confidence and get on with their life. Well, I think it's great. It's just so many things that go into having a successful program every year. I mean, you got the administration, you got the teachers, you got the cheerleaders, you got the parents, you got the coaches, and then you get to the players. And so knowing what that experience is all about, I'm really excited for them. Obviously, I'm pulling for them and all that good stuff because I know the fun that goes with that, and frankly, we're due. So you've been with your teammates. All of you have been working hard to do the best and be the best and contribute the most you can to the extent you can. And there's an awful lot of work that goes into that. So to see all that come together, the coaches hang in there with you because, things aren't always trending up. They change a little bit. So, it's just a great feeling to experience that and get to that point. Again, particularly in football and it being the physical sport that it is, it's a lot that goes into having a chance to win a state championship. Well, when you say stories in football always get better. It's like when it happened, it was just a play. 10 years later, it was a good play. 20 years later, it was a great play, and 30 years later, it was All-American play. I mean, that just kind of goes with sports. But, you know, I feel very blessed to have been at the university, particularly the time I was there. And I say that because I was there with Coach Bryant's 20th, 21st, 22nd, and 23rd season. And everything was set up for us to have a great experience. And I've always been grateful that I had the opportunity to play for him because, you know, he is the epitome during my era of a head coach who not only taught us how to play football, but emphasized the importance of what it could do for us down the road and the lessons that we could learn and the lessons you learn from sports, but also how important it was for us to get a diploma. And so, you know, you always knew, even on those rough days when we were going through some rough practices, you always knew that Coach Bryant cared about you and helping you be a better person, and a better football player, and a better student. Yeah, well, as you know, college football has changed. So these days you got a true champion. During Morgan's time, you got a true champion. Back when I was playing, you know, you played your best, and if everybody thought you were the best, they voted for you. So he likes to tell me that only one of my national championship teams, the 1979, was unanimous, and both of his were. So we've had some fun with it. You know, again, it's been a great experience for us and our family, and so I've always been grateful to Coach Saban for the opportunity that he gave him, just like the opportunity Coach Bryant gave me. Yeah, and it plays a special role, I think, and not that the other sports don't, because they help young people and teach them the value of hard work and commitment and dedication and having a positive attitude. And, you know, when you're an athlete, you have to be honest with yourself too. And not honest because it's the right thing to do, but honest with your skills and, you know, recognize the skills that you have, and you got to keep working on them, but the skills that, you know, the team needs for you to work on and to get better so you contribute the most. And so, you know, I think he does a great job of helping our young people recognize that and having a positive attitude, a positive environment. You know, he's just done a great job, and I'm very grateful. I know my son Morgan enjoyed playing for him, and you know, that's, in many ways, that's the biggest compliment I can pay him is just how much Morgan enjoyed it.